So, my top tip is to never think you're too young to do estate planning. Whether you don't own anything, you don't make money, you say you don't need to do estate planning, that is not true at all. And I think some of the most important documents that we didn't really talk about today were the powers of attorney. And those are things that are during your life. And I'll give you some examples as to so that's my first top tip is get your estate planning done, really. And I'm going to dive into just a little bit about why it's so important. And one of the reasons is I literally got a phone call just now before you and I hopped onto this to stop a tax sale that's at 9 o'clock in the morning. And it is for someone else. It's not even the owner who called me. So, I'm used to this. We do work under pressure. We can get this tax sale stopped in the morning, but the issue is the person who owns the property is incapacitated, and the person who needs to stop the tax sale is their family member who has no authority to file a bankruptcy on their behalf. And we're in between a rock and a hard place. So if all they had done was put a power of attorney in place, which is a very cheap, simple document, I have perfected my form over the years. So I do charge for it. But for us to fill it in, it probably takes about 10 to 15 minutes. The advice that comes with it is what the value is of that document. But like if you're in a situation you don't have time to go see an attorney, get something together, get it notarized, get it witnessed. We can update it afterward, but if somebody's at a point where they might be losing capacity, okay, you can plan for that stuff. But what if I just walk out of here and I get hit by a bus, right? I don't what if I do, because 'cause I'm an estate planning attorney, I do have a power of attorney, but what if I'm not married, so my spouse, can't speak on my behalf, they can't file anything on my behalf? Even if my I am married and that property is only in my name, my spouse can't do anything. It depends on how it's deeded. So, this is just an issue that came up when it somebody lacks a power of attorney and they needed one. You cannot predict the future. So no matter how old you are, no matter how much money you make, no matter how many assets you have, get your estate planning done. If you don't do it and someone needs to handle your finances or make medical decisions, they have to go down to the courthouse and get a guardianship, do a guardianship proceeding. That's 4 to 5 figure legal proceeding. And by the time it's resolved, the person might not need it anymore. So just get your estate planning done. That's the biggest tip. I know everybody says it and I know everybody has it on their to-do list, but just get it done. Whether it's with me or someone else. I would not though, another tip to that. I know I said just find a form. Be careful with things like LegalZoom. This is state law. This is Pennsylvania state law that will govern your property. It will govern your body. It will govern your bank account. Well, there's a lot of federal stuff there too. And people say to me all the time, well, my kid just turned 18. They don't need estate planning. They probably need it more than any of us because they don't know how to schedule doctor appointments. Hopefully you've taught them some of this stuff. But as an 18-year-old who now you cannot make decisions for, you can't protect their stuff, their property, their finances, get it done. The second big tip that I have kind of has to do with that, and it's pre-planning. And it could mean a lot of things. It could be pre-planning the funeral. It could be pre-planning those items that you specifically wanna give to people. I'll say make it fun, like, if you're a mom and you have a couple of daughters and you have a lot of jewelry and you think, "I don't feel like making a list, I don't know if they'll even want it." Have a little party where you're drinking wine and you're taking maybe roll the dice to see who goes first, and then you take a turn picking a piece of jewelry. It's such a fun little event for, like, moms and daughters to do.